Hey, welcome. You know that feeling, right? You type how to lose weight fast into a search bar, and boom, you're just drowning in a sea of miracle cures, conflicting advice, and a million different answers. It's just a total mess. So today, we're going to cut right through all that noise and figure out what actually works. And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Do you go all in for that super fast transformation, or is slow and steady truly the only way to win this race? I mean, we're constantly hit with promises of a quick fix, but at the same time, we're told to just be patient. So what does the science actually have to say about all this? And yep, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This quote from a popular health article, it just captures that dream perfectly. 10 days, a few pounds, gone. It's so specific, it's so fast, and honestly, it's incredibly tempting. And you start thinking, hey, I can do anything for just 10 days. Yeah, this promise of a 10-day transformation, it's just so powerful. It taps right into our desire for instant results. I mean, we live in a world of next-day delivery and instant downloads, so waiting months for something to happen can feel like an absolute eternity. That's the pull. That's the lure of the quick fix. You know, these plans are always set up to feel like some kind of mission, right? You've got these clear phases, a detox to start fresh, then a fat-burning phase where all the magic is supposed to happen, and then that final push to the finish line. It feels so focused, so achievable. But behind all that fancy structure, what are we really getting ourselves into? Okay, so what are we getting into? Well, science actually has a name for these kinds of plans. They might feel brand new and totally revolutionary, but they almost always fall into a very, very familiar category. And understanding what that is, that's the key to making a smart choice for your health. And that term is a fad diet. This is how researchers define them. They're diets that get super popular, super fast, they promise that quick fix, and they often make claims that, let's be honest, sound a little too good to be true. Basically, they're built to go viral, not necessarily to build lasting health. Okay, this right here, this is your toolkit. These are the 8 red flags that'll help you spot a fad diet from a mile away. Look for those wild promises, like 10 pounds in 10 days. Be really careful if it tells you to cut out entire food groups, like all carbs or all fats, because our bodies really do need a balance. And this is a big one, sustainability. If you honestly can't picture yourself eating this way a year from now, that's a massive red flag. And crucially, is there any real science to back it up, or does it conveniently forget to mention any health warnings? Think of this checklist as your hype shield. And then you've got the most extreme versions of these, what people usually call crash diets. The medical term is a very low-calorie diet, or VLCD. We're not just talking about skipping dessert here. This is a serious, drastic drop to 800 calories or even less a day. These are really meant for medical supervision, not something to just try on a whim. All right, this brings us to the main event. Let's put rapid and slow weight loss head to head. If we forget all the marketing and the promises, what is actually happening inside your body? Well, a fascinating clinical trial decided to find out. So, check this out. Researchers set up this really cool trial with 2 groups of people. Now, both groups had the exact same goal, lose at least 5% of their body weight. The only difference was the timeline. The rapid group did it in just 5 weeks. The slow group took 15 weeks. Same destination, totally different speeds. So, what happened? All right, round 1, body composition. And listen, this is so important. That number you see on the scale, it doesn't tell you the whole story. Not even close. It has no idea if you're losing fat, water, or your hard-earned muscle. So what did the study find? So just look at these numbers. When it came to actually losing body fat, the slow and steady group was the clear winner. No contest. They lost over 4.5 kilos of pure fat, while the rapid group lost just under 3. The slower path was way more effective at targeting the fat. And this, wow. This is where you really see the cost of going fast. The rapid loss group lost 1.5 kilograms of lean body mass. That is your muscle, the very engine of your metabolism. The slow group, they lost only about 1/3 of that amount. So the rapid group was literally burning through almost 3 times as much muscle just to see that number on the scale drop faster. So yeah, for round 1, the verdict is pretty clear. If your goal is to actually change your body for the better, meaning less fat and more muscle, the slow approach comes out on top. It helps make sure the weight you're losing is the stuff you really want to lose. But wait, the story's not over yet. What about all the stuff happening on the inside? Things like our cholesterol, our blood sugar. So could there actually be some kind of hidden upside to going fast? Let's take a look at the metabolic side of things. And this is where things get really interesting. It turns out the rapid weight loss group actually saw a better improvement in their LDL, the bad cholesterol. It dropped by an average of almost 13 points. They also had better improvements in their fasting blood sugar. So what this tells us is that a really sharp, quick change can, surprisingly, have some positive effects on certain health markers. So what's the final verdict? Well, it's not so simple. It's a classic trade-off. Going fast might give you a nice quick boost in some of your blood work, but it comes at a pretty steep price. You lose muscle. And that is a huge deal, because less muscle means a slower resting metabolism. It lowers the number of calories you burn just living your life, which makes it so much harder to keep the weight off for good. The slow approach protects that metabolic engine, even if some of those internal numbers change a bit more gradually. Okay, so how does all this science stuff actually play out in the real world with diets you've probably heard of? Well, you can see these two different philosophies, the rapid results versus the sustainable lifestyle, baked right into the way they're designed. This table lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you've got the keto diet. Its whole philosophy is built around getting rapid results by dropping carbs way, way down. But then look at the concerns. It can be really tough to stick with, and it might even raise that LDL cholesterol we just talked about. Then on the other side, you've got the Mediterranean diet. Its philosophy isn't about a quick fix. It's a balanced lifestyle. It's built on whole foods, and it's one of the most studied approaches for long-term health. You can literally see the trade-offs we've been discussing right here in these two examples. And all of this brings us right back to where we started. Now that we have all this information, what should the real goal be? Is it really just about hitting a number on a machine as fast as you possibly can, or is there maybe something bigger at play? So let's boil all of this down into 3 simple principles you can actually use. First up, be a little skeptical of those quick fixes. Use those 8 red flags we talked about to check out any plan. Second, try to shift your focus away from just weight loss and towards body composition. The goal is to lose fat while holding on to the muscle that keeps you strong and your metabolism humming. And number 3, and this is maybe the most important one, build habits you can actually sustain. The best approach is always going to be the one you can stick with for life, not just for 10 days. And that's really the question I want to leave you with. When you strip away all the hype, all the before and after pictures, what are you really after? Is it the temporary win of seeing a smaller number on the scale? Or is it the grand prize of a healthy, strong life that you can enjoy for years to come? The choice, as they say, is yours.